All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome. We got a weird one today. So we got Charlie Kirk discussing glory holes. We have people having sex with inanimate objects. And that's just scratching the surface. So sit back, relax, buckle up, sip some lemonade. Let's go ahead and dive into it here. So Dianne Feinstein is, of course, about 117 years old. And she's been in Washington, D.C. since the Van Buren administration. And she's been in the news a lot recently because, I'm going to try to put this as kindly as possible, her brain doesn't work. In fact, it's not even close to working. There's been stories of her sitting in meetings. They all go over a certain topic. She nods her head in agreement. And then at the end, she goes, cool. Anyway, and then asks about the same topic. Like it never happened. She will talk to people who she's known for 3 decades and be like, what's your name again? Or call them by a different name. She forgot that she had been absent from DC for months at one point. Not only does she have the beginning stages of dementia, I think it's fair to say she's in the late stages of dementia. Now, why is she hanging on for dear life? Well, to put it simply, she's acting as a pawn for Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. What they're trying to do is make it so that she lasts until the next election, because if she dies before the next election, then Gavin Newsom has to pick somebody to replace her in the interim. And Gavin Newsom has already said he's going to pick likely a woman of color. Well, Adam Schiff, I don't know if you noticed this, is not a woman of color. And Adam Schiff is Pelosi's guy. So they're basically doing a Weekend at Bernie's type situation where Dianne Feinstein is a puppet and they're going to try to shoehorn in Adam Schiff by having the next election where he's leading, by the way, in the polls. So that's what's going on here. It's very nefarious. It's very sad. And the people who are getting the shit end of the stick, excuse my language, are, of course, the voters of California, the constituents of California, who now have somebody who's barely alive representing them. So here we have an article that just came out. There's a new poll that was done by, I forget, Emerson. Emerson is the group. Near supermajority of California voters want Senator Dianne Feinstein to resign. Californians want Feinstein out, and her approval rating keeps tumbling lower and lower, according to a new poll from Emerson College. So they say a near supermajority of California voters want Senator Dianne Feinstein to resign from office, and her approval rating has fallen off a cliff, according to polling out Monday from Emerson College. The poll, conducted from June 4th to June 7th among 1,056 California voters, shows that 63% of respondents believe Feinstein should step aside, compared to 37% who believe she should finish her term through 2024. Now, let me pause here. I would love to have a conversation with that 37%. Because my guess is many of those people have no idea her cognitive state, and they haven't been following the news closely. Because if you do know her cognitive state, it's got to be damn near 90% of those people who are like, oh, she's got to go. So, by the way, she'd be 91 years old if she were to finish her term. Get this, guys. Her approval rating is just 22%. 22. That is Dick Cheney territory at the peak of the Iraq War. She has a 48% disapproval and 31% no opinion. Okay. 22% approval rating. 63% say she's got to go. Now, look, I don't think your average California voter here really is following the ins and outs of the news and knows how dire the situation is with Dianne Feinstein. But the fact of the matter is this. Even if you try to pull the wool over people's eyes and distract them and try as much as you can to make this a non-issue, you're not going to fool everybody. And so even with a concerted effort to act like there's not even anything to see here, bro, look away, it's totally cool, there's no problem at all, I don't even know what you're talking about. Even with that concerted effort, even with Pelosi and Schiff playing puppet master, even with trying to keep it out of the media as much as possible, you still have 63% of the respondents say, she's got to go, man. She's got to go. I don't know whether to be happy at that result because it's a strong majority, or saddened by that result. Because like I said, the number should be 90%. I don't know. But this issue has gone way too far for way too long. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. The fact of the matter is there should be something akin to a vote of no confidence, where there's a way to remove a lawmaker who finds themselves in a situation like this. Because this is not just unfair to the voters, this is also unfair to her, Dianne Feinstein, who makes Joe Biden seem like he's sharp and with it. She makes Joe Biden look like a spring chicken, a young whippersnapper whose best years are ahead of him. That's what's going on here. But look, it's not going to happen. She's not going to step down. She's going to continue to be used as a puppet. And it's beyond disrespectful to the voters, not just of California, but the citizens of the United States of America. Because what does that say about our lawmakers, right? What does it say about them that you can basically have a shell of a human being whose body they prop up with a stick and say, yeah, this is one of the 100 most powerful people in the country? What does that say? It says maybe a lot of these people are interchangeable. Maybe they're not such independent thinkers. Maybe their job is really to be there to represent corporate interests, and not all that much else goes into it. That's certainly going to be the takeaway from anybody who goes through this with a fine-tooth comb and analyzes it closely. That's going to be the takeaway. And you know what? They're not wrong. They're not wrong. So for the love of God, for Dianne Feinstein herself, for her own sake, get her out of there. For the voters of California's sake, get her out of there. I don't know what the solution is in terms of the legal avenues that are available right now. But what I do know is, like I said, there should be some sort of a process where you can have a vote of no confidence and you get a replacement. Because this is unacceptable. And by the way, I don't want to put all the blame here just on Dianne Feinstein. Pelosi, Schiff, like I said, they bear a lot of the blame. But this isn't even the first time we've had a situation like this, where it's effectively weekend at Bernie's. Remember Robert Byrd, the Democratic senator? There was a similar thing going on with him, where he was in a wheelchair, he didn't know where the hell he was, and they wheeled his ass in there until the day he croaked. So there's something deeply, deeply wrong with Washington, and this is a great example of it here. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.